Hi Mark.
Hi.
You were born in 1964. What is your first musical memory? Do you still think, well, Beatles-wise, or was it Black Sabbath maybe, or?
The first song I actually remember hearing and thinking, what is that? I didn't know what it was until much later, but I was at a fishing pond with my dad when I was really little, and it was playing on somebody's car stereo, and I heard this song and I thought, oh man, that's sad sounding. And then years later I heard it again, and it was it was Nazareth doing Love Hurts. But that's really the first song I remember hearing, and actually thinking about it.
So I think it was early 70s?
Yeah.
And are you, let's say, are you a 70s person? I mean, if you look back on your youth, or was it maybe disco, punk, or what?
Well, the first song or the first music that I really connected with was sort of original punk rock, British punk rock, and New York punk rock, like the Ramones, and then the sort of pre-punk rock stuff like the Stooges, and Velvet Underground, New York Dolls. At the same time, I was hearing the Sex Pistols and the Damned and the Stranglers, who I liked a lot, and you know, that kind of stuff was the first stuff that made me, you know, actually get into music and want to buy records and pay attention to music. Actually, steal records, but
Steal records. Okay. What was the first record you stole?
I'm pretty sure it was Alice Cooper, Goes to Hell, the one where he's got the green face on the cover. And it was an 8-track, not a record.
And what was the first record you bought? You actually bought?
Actually, the first record I bought was the Who, Tommy, but not the Who's version, the actual movie soundtrack.
Okay. So well, you started Screaming Trees, and the first album has been released in 1986. What was the first song that you actually, the first song you wrote? How old were you?
It was on the first Trees record, and me and the guitar player wrote Pictures in My Mind together, which could have easily come off one of the early Spinal Tap records as well, but we actually wrote it.
But it sounds good to me because, well, your first song you wrote actually made it onto an album. Sometimes people say, well, I have to work on songs 4 or 5 years, but...
Well, yeah. We probably could have worked on songs for a good 10 years and it would have been to our benefit, but instead the very first songs we were writing became records, and, you know.
Your last solo album was in 2004. I think it was, well, the longest time that you actually took between your solo albums. Why did it take you so long?
Well, in between I was doing a lot of collaborations and a lot of other records and a lot of tours. I did 3 records with Isabel Campbell and a lot of touring with her. I also did 2 records singing with the British band Soul Savers, and I toured a lot with them. Made a record with my friend Greg Dooley called the Gutter Twins and toured that for a year. And, you know, bang, before I knew it, 7 years had gone by, and I didn't really intend for there to be that much time between them, but I got...
Did you write songs, actually?
Usually I'm writing songs, but I was, you know, writing songs for those specific projects. When I started this record, I mean, usually when I'm starting a solo record, I'm digging back into the past and finding bits and pieces of stuff that I never finished or didn't make sense, and now it does. And usually a record starts with 1 or 2 of those, but this one I started completely brand new. Just wrote the first song, recorded it. While that one was being finished, I was writing the next one, you know, like that.